The Toa have defeated the evil Skull Grinder. Beneath the ancient city, the protectors discover 6 elemental creatures. Umarak the Hunter is attempting to trap these creatures. The Toa must gain new powers in order to unite with the creatures and defeat Umarak. This is Bionicle Week 3, United for Battle. Day 7, Umarak the Hunter. Hello, this is Soundad here, and welcome back to Bionicle Week 3, United for Battle. Today is the final day, Day 7, we'll be taking a look at Umarak the Hunter. This is the last set I have to review for Bionicle 2016 thus far, and he is the villain of the wave. While the Lord of Skull Spiders last year was a $15 set, Umarak is a $20 set, and he really uses the part count and the extra bulk that he is allowed effectively. So without further ado, let's take a look at Umarak. Here is set number 71310, Umarak the Hunter. And I'm just going to be perfectly upfront and say this is my favorite set of the year so far. This guy is really cool. He's also really tall. Because of his horns, as well as his overall bulk, he is the tallest set. As you can see here, he is next to Uniter Tahu, where because of the horns he is definitely taller, but even head size he is just a little bit taller than Tahu. So really cool overall. Now, there's some interesting things about this guy. We don't know much about him, aside from the fact he is hunting the creatures using the traps that each of the creatures has come with so far. But other than that, we don't know anything about this guy. And that is what's really cool, is that he is a mysterious type villain. Also, he may be a skull villain based on how he has the ribcage piece that all the skull villains featured. So, not really sure what's going on here with this guy at this time, but I'm hoping he is really cool because this set is so awesome. First of all, let's take a look at his mask. I do want to talk about his mask first because his mask is probably one of the coolest masks I have ever seen in a Bionicle set. It's not symmetrical, but it's not like, oh, there's an eyepiece on one side. It looks kind of broken, almost twisted, more organic, but it is a mask. For various reasons we know it is a mask, but it is very broken and cracked. It looks very sickly with this green color. It looks really, really cool. Now, the first thing that people are going to notice is, oh no, he's got horns attached to his head, just like Skull Basher, where it was really easy to knock the mask off, because you could just like tap it and the mask would come off. Not here. You actually have to use quite a bit of force to get this up far enough to release the mask. But it actually is not a problem. The mask stays on a lot tighter. As you can see, it only comes apart there, so it has to go pretty far to remove. I think that new eye stock piece is really helping with that too. So overall, this is a great improvement over Skull Basher. Also, pretty cool horns overall. Now, his green color makes me think he's a jungle element. Also, what he does makes me think of a jungle element. But I don't think he's specifically supposed to be part of a certain element. And that's mostly because he is green, but he's also black, silver, and red. He's kind of a nice mixture of colors. There's some brown on the horns, which give him a plant-like look. But he's got these really cool spikes. I think this is really neat. He has a new chest decal, which is super awesome and super scary. And look at the way they assembled his legs. This is something usually only larger Titan class Bionicle sets would usually get, but he actually does have an extra axle connection here so that his feet are stable, which is really cool. Plus, you can get them in this kind of position, which looks really neat, and I think I kind of want to leave it like that. But other than that, articulation-wise, he does have a neck, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, plus the ankle does have the motion here, which is pretty nice. And he does have the same geared waist as the Toa, so it does actually swing back and forth, which is really cool. You'll also notice he does have a piece of Unity back here with the 2 ports needed to combine with creatures. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Now, in terms of weaponry on this guy, you can see down here he has a sword. This is the same mask grabber sword piece we got with a lot of the skull villains, and was featured, on Skull Grinder, so that's pretty neat overall. But his primary weapon is not that. That is just kind of a bonus knife sword weapon on his leg. But he does feature a bow. And this bow has the bone-like pieces here in tan. It is a 6-shooter, and when you rotate this piece here, it fires off the darts. And much like Vizuna and the Skull Warrior, this is a very nicely designed bow, and even more so than Vizuna and Skull Warrior, where they had a solid connection. Here, he actually does have a rotatable front, which means you don't have to readjust the hand. Which also means you can adjust this guy into all kinds of bow casting poses, since there is a rotation here and up here. So he is all set to be an awesome archer character, especially since he has a waist joint. That really, really helps with everything. So you can see he can pull off some cool poses like this, or you can have it kind of down resting to the side. But he is definitely versatile in this bow, and it is quite large, so you can get a nice range of movement out of it. Now that's pretty much it for official weaponry, but he does have one little bonus feature, and that is his shoulder pads here, which I did neglect to mention are on several swivels to move out of the way. If you remove these off of his shoulders, you'll notice that these are the pieces that make up the traps. So it does actually feature the main trap pieces. So we take this off, hopefully not take the mask with it, that's not intended. So you notice that we have 2 trap parts here, and they are missing a couple parts. Well, you do get an extra set of axle connections here, so that you can actually plug these together. You actually do need to remove that in order to do this. Pull that out, put that there, put the eyepiece that is also included, and then all you gotta do is remove his green toe pieces. And then that means that he has an extra trap, and it is a different trap than the other 5 traps you already got. So it brings our total unique trap total to 6, and that is really, really cool. And he doesn't look too bad without it. He does look like he is lacking stuff up in the shoulders, because he is, without the trap. But when I was building the set, I thought it was cool that they used the trap pieces for shoulder pads, since, well, he is, you know, throwing these traps out. It was cool that it was part of his armor. And then when I found out later that it actually made its own trap, that was really cool. So overall, this is really neat. But there's one more thing that makes Umarak the Hunter one of the hardest sets to get for 2016 so far. And no, it's not his really cool ammo clip that hangs on his leg, but it is in fact the Mask of Control, the second of the 3 great masks for Bionicle Generation 2. This was originally worn by Makuta before he created the Mask of Ultimate Power. Now this is the mask Makuta primarily wore, but yet it comes with Umarak. This is very interesting because we don't know the story relevance to why he comes with the Mask of Control, and why it only took one wave between the Mask of Creation and the Mask of Control. I kind of feel like the Mask of Control should have been saved for the fall wave, unless we're getting the Mask of Ultimate Power in the fall wave. Really interesting to see that we already got these 2 masks when we had to wait a whole... The whole first wave did not include the Mask of Creation, even though it was on the box. But then the first wave of 2016 has the Mask of Control on the box, and it's in the first wave. So I'm hoping that Umarak is a more important villain, because it shows on the box comics him wearing the mask. So really interesting to see why he includes this, but it is really nice. And of course, he can wear it. They did make sure that the horns did not get in the way of him wearing the Mask of Control there. So it does look kind of weird on him, mostly because I'm used to seeing him with this mask. But that is a thing, and it is really interesting to see. Now, him being the only villain, and him coming with the Mask of Control, has made him a little bit harder to find, but it's definitely worth it. Now, like I had mentioned previously, he does have connector pegs, which do allow him to combine with creatures. The instructions actually show him combining with all 6 creatures. Umarak, the Hunter of Fire. Umarak, the Hunter of Earth. Umarak, the Hunter of Stone. Umarak, the Hunter of Ice. Umarak, the Hunter of Water. Now, while the other 5 combinations look really cool, you know, in a lot of ways, except the combination with Katar, because he still sucks, Umarak's got a combination that works really well. And it's why I made a joke that buying 2 Uxars is not a bad thing. Because as two become one, Umarak becomes Umarak the Hunter of Jungle, with a combination with Uxar that just looks so cool. The trans green matches the trans green, the green matches the other green, the silver matches the silver. This is the combination that I feel was meant for Uxar, ironically. It's definitely made for both Liwa and Umarak, as they both have color scheme matches. But that random trans green that I didn't see matching anything on Liwa matches everything on Umarak. And that is really cool. Like, these pieces match Liwa, while these pieces match Umarak. So that's why I bought a second Uxar. And this is the combination that makes Uxar really worth it. I even like to remove the helmet piece and put it back here, just to kind of make it look like Umarak did just, you know, capture Uxar and force him to unite, instead of working together, you know, with two minds kind of thing. So, really cool. I'm hoping this combo is a canon thing in some media for Bionicle, because there it is on the box. They're advertising Uxar and Umarak together. So I'm really hoping that's the case, and I really look forward to seeing this combo pop up somewhere. And I really hope so, because this is such a cool looking combo. The wings on Uxar just match Umarak so well to make a really great combo. And overall, Umarak the Hunter is my favorite set for 2016, my favorite set for G2 Bionicle. I think he is probably one of the coolest sets that has come out in a while for Bionicle, for LEGO, or anything. I really like this guy, and I definitely recommend him. And I definitely recommend him getting him sooner than later. This Mask of Control kind of makes him a little bit more in demand, right now at least. Definitely recommend this set. Definitely get Uxar. Even if you don't have Liwa, get Uxar to go with Umarak, because this is a really neat looking combination. So how is the Winter 2016 wave of Bionicle? So overall, how is the 2016 Winter wave of Bionicle? So here we are at the end of Bionicle Week 3. This is the third wave of new Bionicle sets since the series came back last year. And I'm really glad LEGO did bring Bionicle back. And while 2015 may have been a little bit rocky, with the first wave being really fantastic and the second wave being kind of okay, they have done it again with a first winter wave for a year of Bionicle. And it's just come out the gate really strong. Stronger, I think, than 2015 started. You have 6 distinctive creatures. You have 6 distinctive Toa. You have a brand new villain who is actually really cool and not bogged down by a Technic-based gimmick. This is a good wave. This is a great start to 2016, and I hope that LEGO can keep up the momentum this year, because I feel like the momentum dropped off in the middle of 2015 with the Skull villains. So, hopefully this means we'll get another wave of villains in the fall, and it will be as solid as this wave, because this wave is just really good. Overall, though, my favorite Toa for this year will probably be Kopaka. I love the fact that he has different weapons than he used to, and overall his slimmer design really works for him. My least favorite Toa is probably Liwa. Still not getting over the arms. The arms just look really bad. Least favorite creature, definitely Katar. Gone over how much he sucks. And favorite creature is probably Terak. Of course, my favorite set overall is Umarak. But this wave as a whole is just really great. And it's the same price as the 2015 Wave 1 for everything. But I feel like you get so much more, because the combinations are easy to pull off. You don't have to remove weapons and rebuild parts and do all this weird modification to the armor. You just put on a protector, or you put on a creature onto the back of a Toa, and you're pretty much done. It's really nice and simple, and I think that combination looks really good. Plus, like I said, it looks like the combinations were made first, with the intention of them being split up later, as opposed to the other way around, which I think really helps the overall sets. In the end, I would recommend all of these, but particular standouts have to be Kopaka and Melum, Umarak, Onua and Terak, and Tahu and Iker. While Gali, Pohatu, and Liwa are really nice sets as well, they aren't as good as the other 4. But that's because they are on a lower price point, so they have less parts to work with. But I definitely recommend everything. If you're going to pick up a creature on its own, Akita,
Terrak are really good ones to pick up just on their own. Akita especially, because she's like the best price deal I've seen on a Lego set in a long time. So overall, that concludes Bionicle Week 3, United for Battle. Stay tuned, as this coming July/August/September will be Bionicle Week 4, featuring the fall 2016 sets of Bionicle. Until then, be sure to check out the other reviews here on Standout 12, as well as other Bionicle reviews I may do as flashback reviews, because I do like looking at some older sets. And till next time, this is Standout saying goodbye.